I'm going to show you exactly how to price your home to get more money, even in a down market. Let's jump into it. Right now, 79% of current sellers that are on the market have already dropped their price. That means nearly 8 out of 10 sellers price their home wrong from day one. And here's what no one is telling them. It's not about greed. It was about using the wrong pricing strategy in the wrong market. In the next few minutes, I'm going to go over the 3 pricing strategy frameworks I've used on more than 600 transactions over my 16 years of experience, and show you exactly how this strategy helps sellers write a lottery ticket in 2021 and costing sellers a lot of money right now. And before I get into it, the examples I'm going to use are from my own personal market, the Myrtle Beach, South Carolina market, but this framework can actually be used for any market across the country, whether you live in Ohio, Florida, Texas, California, Hawaii, Alaska. You can live in Italy, Norway, wherever you live, it works everywhere. So I'm going to go over why market type determines everything right now. The fundamental truth about real estate is real estate pricing for most people, including a lot of agents, never really fully grasp on how to do it. And here's the thing, there is no universal pricing strategy, right? It's not, here's your value, let's price it above, and then leave room for negotiation. That's usually what a lot of sellers and a lot of agents do. But here's the thing, there is really only one strategy to price your home that it sells, and it's based on the market that you're currently in. Now, if you price too high, you're not only losing a lot of money in equity, but you're losing a lot of money in carrying costs, price reductions, and a stale listing that unfortunately a lot of buyers tend to avoid. They don't want to be the sucker to come around and buy your property because something's either wrong with it or it's overpriced. So there are only really 3 types of real estate markets in order for you to get your pricing right from day one. Number 1, there's a rapidly increasing market, something similar to what we saw in 2021, 2022. Then there's the normal market that we've seen over many years. And then the third one is a declining market, or maybe it's softening in price. Each one requires a fundamentally different approach with your pricing because it's not the same. And getting this wrong with your pricing could cost you thousands to tens of thousands of dollars in the end. So I'm going to walk you through all 3 and how to navigate each one. So let's start with market number 1, which is the best type of market to be in if you're a seller, and that's the rapidly increasing real estate market. I'm talking about what we experienced in 2021 and 2022. Values increasing at 15 to 20% or more across the country. Inventory was at historic lows. Buyers were fighting over properties, buying them sight unseen, waiving home inspections, waiving any kind of repairs, and closing in 3 weeks or as quickly as possible versus multiple bids on the property. In that type of market, the correct way to price your property is to price it above the market value. And I know that sounds very aggressive, but the math completely supports it. So let's take a $400,000 house as an example. So a value on your house is $400,000. And if the market is increasing at 15% rate annually, that is $5,000 in value. You're gaining a month, not for the year, a month. If you price at $420,000 and you can get an offer in the first 30 days you're on the market, basically the market caught up to your $420,000 value by the time the buyer makes the offer. Now, you weren't pricing your property overpriced. You priced for where the market was going. If the market's going up, you price it to where it is going. And basically the market met you there. This is why sellers in 2021 and 2022 were getting offers $20,000, $30,000, even $50,000 above their asking price. And here's the thing, they weren't lucky. They were pricing correctly in the market that we were dealing with. The market was moving up at such a rapid pace that the listing price validated where the market was going to be in 30 to 60 days. Now, that market is long gone, especially in the Myrtle Beach market here and a lot of markets around the country. So if you're a seller, or if there's a seller out there that is still using that strategy from 2021 and 2022, then you're just contributing to the 79% of current properties on the market reducing their price.
All right, so market number 2 is what most of us basically know as a real estate market, and it's a normal balanced market. It's healthy. Prices are basically appreciating about 3% every single year, maybe up to 5% if it's a great market, which is the historical average of the United States real estate market right now. Supply and demand are balanced, and properties are selling at a healthy 45 to 90 days at the most when they hit the market. In a normal market, what you want to do for a pricing strategy is price at or just below the market value. And here's the logic. When you price right at market value, you create much more showing activity on your property versus starting higher for negotiation, especially because the first 2 weeks you're on the market is the highest viewing from buyers because of brand new listings hitting the market. A home valued at $400,000 and priced right at $400,000 as its normal market value will command more buyer interest in the first week it hits the market and will probably sell at or near its asking price. Now, the exact same home with the strategy of pricing a little bit higher at $425,000 because you want to leave room for negotiations will get lower showing activity, and it will get passed over because the numbers don't support that asking price. And buyer agents and buyers know it. The home sits, the listing goes stale, and then you reduce your price, if not once, but multiple times, down to a number that will probably be lower than the number you could have gotten if you just priced it right from the start. In a normal market, the right price at day one is much more profitable and money in your pocket than an optimistic price, much higher than its value after 30, 60 days on the market. Now, here's the market that is basically most relevant to what we're probably seeing across the country right now in the United States. And that's a declining market. Pricings are going down, and the strategy might sound a little counterintuitive, but consistently produces better outcomes in the end. So market number 3 is a declining market. Values are slowly declining over time. It's not crashing, they're just softening. Prices this month are slightly lower than last month's, and next month's prices are going to be slightly lower than this month's prices. Now, in a declining market, the correct pricing strategy is to price at tomorrow's value. Not today's, not last month's, not 6 months from in the past, not what your neighbor got 6 months ago or in 2022, but tomorrow's value. Let me show you exactly what I mean. Say your home's market value is somewhere around $300,000, and in about 60 days, it'll probably be worth about $285,000. If you price at $300,000 today, you're already in trouble because buyers already know that the market and the pricing is softening. Their agent knows it, the comps show it, and a buyer is thinking, why would I pay $300,000 when I could just wait and get it for $285,000 tomorrow? So that buyer, they don't make an offer, or they lowball you at $270,000. You reject it, and then the home sits. 30 days later, you reduce to $290,000. Still no offer. Then you decide to reduce to $289,900. You finally get a lowball offer in your mind of $275,000. You take it just because you're exhausted. You had 4 months of carrying costs. That means 4 months of mortgage payments, 4 months of property taxes, 4 months of insurance, 4 months of HOA fees, and 4 months of utilities, usually running about $3,500 to about $5,000 a month. If you add that up, that's about $14,000 to $20,000 in carrying costs alone. Plus, you close at $275,000 where you could have closed around $285,000 3 months ago. Your total loss of overpricing your property versus pricing it right and below the market value, potentially $25,000 to $30,000 total loss. Now, compare that to the seller that priced their property at $285,000. They didn't start high to leave room for negotiations. They basically started at a price that built in the maximum amount of value to buyers, and buyers saw that. And buyers, they immediately jump on it, make an offer. The home sells in 3 weeks for maybe $283,000. You see the difference. They sold for $7,000 more, and they eliminated 3 months of carrying costs. Who made more money? The seller who listed lower and sold faster by a wide margin. In a declining market, the fastest sale is almost the most profitable every single time. And the way to create the fastest sale is you have to price at tomorrow's pricing where it's going to be going, not where it's at or where it's been. Now, let's talk about the numbers and the math to really bring this together to make it concrete for sellers, because sellers always underestimate this until they see the actual math. Let's say you list at $425,000 and your home is worth $400,000 in a softening market. In 30 days, you decide to reduce to $415,000. In another 30 days, you reduce down to $410,000. Still no offer. And then another 30 days, you finally reduce down to $400,000. Maybe even $395,000 just to really get under $400,000. And then you finally get an offer at $385,000. And you accepted it 5 months later. 5 months of carrying costs on average about $4,000 a month equals $20,000 that you paid out that you can't get back in carrying costs. It all adds up. It all comes out of your pocket. Final sale price, $385,000 versus $395,000. That's another $10,000 in lost equity. And here's the problem. When buyers see 5 months on the market, they see desperation. So total cost of overpricing in that scenario, anywhere from $30,000 total loss. So let's look at the seller that priced below its value at $395,000. Commanded a lot more showing activity because buyers saw the value immediately from day one. Generated plenty of showings, got an offer, decided to settle at $392,000, closed in 3 weeks. They eliminated $30,000 of their money out of their pocket to pay for the carrying costs, and they sold for about $7,000 to $8,000 more than overpricing at $425,000. So the data confirms it. Homes, properties priced right from day one are more profitable and will sell faster than a property overpriced that has to go through multiple price reductions. So chasing the market is not a strategy. It's a consequence of using the wrong strategy. So how do you actually figure out which market you're in? I think you have to ask 3 simple questions. Question 1, what direction are prices moving in your specific neighborhood? Not nationally, not for the city or for your area, for your neighbor. Are they going up? Are they flat, or are they declining? And what you want to do is you want to pull the last 6 months of sales for that information. Don't go back 2 years ago. Don't go back to 2022. Just go back in your neighborhood the last 6 months and you'll get that data. Question number 2, how long are the comparable houses like yours taken to sell? If it's under 30 days, then you're in a rising market. That means sales are moving pretty quick. 30 to 90 days, that's basically a normal market. You're looking about 3% increase. No more, no less, just a normal market. And if the similar homes are taking 90 days or more with multiple price reductions, then you are in a declining market. Question number 3, what percentage of the active listings right now have had price reductions? If the answer is 50% or more, then you are more than likely in a market where the pricing is softening and slightly declining. So pricing, when it comes to that strategy, is a price at tomorrow's value. So these 3 questions will give you the market diagnosis. The framework that I gave you will give you the treatment for each market. And here's the best information I can give you. The market your neighbor sold in a year ago or 5 years ago is a completely different market than what you're selling in today. You got to use today's current market value, today's current market data, today's similar properties that have sold, not what your neighbor did 6 months ago, a year ago, or in 2022. So conclude, there is no universal pricing strategy. It's not what I want to sell at for a price. It's not what I need to get out to get to the next home. It's basically what type of property are you in? And each market commands a different strategy. I've been doing this 16 years, 600 plus transactions. It's all the same. And every single market has a different pricing strategy. If you enjoyed this video and felt it very helpful when it comes to pricing your property, hit the like and subscribe button. And if there's anything I can do to help you out, there's a link down below. Let's set up a phone call or give me a call on my direct cell. Everything's in the description below. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you guys next week. Thanks for watching.